Fulham here breaking down the left-hand side. Ball coming into the box to Jimenez, who just couldn't get it under control. That remains Man City 0. And the ball comes back into the box to Jimenez. And there's a goal! There's a goal in the Etihad Stadium. And it's Manchester 0, Manchester City 0, Fulham 1. It'd been coming. Fulham had looked dangerous on the break. And Andreas Pereira, the former Manchester United man, he celebrates with the Soo. But the last couple of weeks we've been in it, guys. Man City conceded early at home. It happened against Ipswich at home. It happened against Brentford at home. But Kwesi Wafara, your eyes are on the game. 26 minutes gone. Andreas Pereira has made it Man City 0, Fulham 1.
That'll feel really good for Pereira as well, former Manchester United player. But the ball comes from out wide. Man City don't do well to clear the danger. It gets put back into the box by Alex Iwobi from the right-hand side. And again, Jimenez does a brilliant job there. He brings the ball down, plays it into Pereira. It's a simple finish from about 2 or 3 yards out. But Man City's defender was absolutely woeful.
That back heel from
Raúl Jimenez, the thing of beauty.
That's the assist of the season.
One of the assists of the season so far. No wonder he was celebrating like he had scored the goal. Man City, they've not looked good enough in this game. I've liked what Rico Lewis has been doing in terms of picking up the pockets and being the free man for City players to find. But in terms of defensively, they've looked shaky. We saw the chance earlier on in the game, and now Fulham are in front and City have got a job to do.
There are 3 full times. What's happened, Kwesi Wafara?
A corner comes in from Man City. Ball ricochets. They failed to get it clear, Fulham. And Kovacic, who's chipped with a goal or 2 this season already, lashes it in from the edge of the box. It's now Man City 1, Fulham 1.
Why did teams even bother scoring against Man City early on?
Angers them,
I remember Ali McCoy saw breakfast after the Ipswich game. Said, Ipswich should have lead at Man City. They were winning 1-0. I went through a tunnel. I came out of it and Man City winning 3-1.
Yeah. It's well, Newcastle last week went behind and actually got back into it. You're probably better off going behind and trying to nick a goal rather than going ahead and angering them. But yeah, this is.
Do you also think like how we all know how good Man City are? You think you spend weeks, don't your days in planning about trying to set up defensively and to frustrate them and contain them. I mean, to concede a corner against them must be so frustrating. They don't clear their lines for them. It takes a big deflection. It
comes off Anderson
Fulham have been really, really good, but Fulham are looking dangerous on the counter attack.
Man City have scored, haven't they?
That's fantastic news.
Good news for you.
That is a dream. Kovacic again. Kovacic has found his. Do you know this is what they needed though? You know what they desperately needed, and what I desperately needed was somebody to take the mantle.
You and me both.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody to step up. Somebody to, you know when Rodri's out for the season. Somebody needs to use that as a bit of an opportunity. Look, it's terrible news. It's really sad for him individually as well. But you kind of go, right, this for somebody in that squad, it's an opportunity. Make a statement. Become Manchester City's best player. Become their most important player and cement your place in the team. If Mateo Kovacic keeps scoring goals like this and ultimately proves to be their match winner, this is what they do, isn't it? Somebody... when they desperately need... Remember when Ilkay Gundogan did it that year?
Or they had Mahrez, it was always a clutch player.
Mahrez used to do
it,
exactly.
And then you also look at Rodri, who stepped up in big games, Kevin De Bruyne, who's also usually out for long periods of the season. I mean, if you can turn Kovacic into that player that is coming from midfield and can offer you, whether it's 5 goals a season, big games, big moments, that would be absolutely huge.
Well, that could be worth the equivalent of 15 points.
There we go.
It's huge.
I tell you what as well, that some finish from Kovacic. The ball comes to him on the edge of the box. His first touch kind of plays it. Kind of opens up in front of him, and then he first time kind of just almost bends the ball into the far right hand corner. It's a really, really good finish.
He needed to do more of that, Kovacic, I think.
What was he like? Would you say he scored enough goals as a Chelsea midfield player?
No, he did. Well, I wouldn't only make it about the goal, Sam. Do you know what he never did? Considering the ability, considering the technical class that he has, considering what he is capable of, he never did enough. It just wasn't enough. Far less good and silky footballers than Kovacic. Their output would be so much better. Like Kovacic is far better on the ball than, say, an example from the past, Solomon Kalou. Do you remember Solomon Kalou at Chelsea?
Of course.
What Solomon Kalou would do, he was nowhere near as good a footballer as Kovacic, but he would affect results. He'd come on and he'd score. He'd come on and he'd bundle it in. He'd come on and he'd cause havoc and somebody else would score. Kovacic is 10 times the footballer, but he didn't deliver enough. He wasn't effective enough. But if he continues like this, 2 goals today. Already scored. I mean, he scored a great goal against us opening day of the season.
Took the goal really well, didn't he, as well? Really, really well. So Manchester City are back in front. Oh, that's some goal! It's Man City 3, Fulham 1. Take a bow, Jeremy Doku. That is outstanding wing play. The celebration's embarrassing, mate. I don't know what that dance is all about. But in terms of the goal, he has the...
He's got the moves as well. It's the gift that keeps giving.
Did you hear how loud the chair was when I got up, by the way? These chairs are so loud, it's ridiculous. The goal is special, though. He has the ball on the left-hand side. He cuts in on his right foot. It is an absolute thunderbolt that gives Bernd Leno no chance. He does really, really well to create space for himself. But the finish, though, on the left-hand side is absolutely outstanding. You guys are watching the replay now. The ball gets worked out to him on the left-hand side. As soon as he picks the ball up, he's only got one thing on his mind. He wants to cut in. He shimmies. He cuts in.
Beautiful.
It's a great, great goal.
We don't see enough of that from him.
No, you don't. But the problem is with him is that in modern football, you've got clean wingers who their primary focus is to retain possession. What I do like about Doku is a bit unpredictable. We saw it in the FA Cup final when he gave Man United problems and he scored the goal in the final. And I know people criticise him because he's not consistent enough. But back in the day, wingers weren't consistent. They would give you something.
You're allowed to be. The gift of being a winger is that you can try things and it not work.
Exactly.
Some of the best that we've ever had the luxury of watching would often give the ball away.
Exactly.
Joe Cole, Arjen Robben, Damien Duff. Because when it does work, you probably score a goal.
100%. And I think we need to get away from this mindset of wingers having to be these pristine players that rotate possession. I feel like the best wingers are unpredictable. And yeah, you might go on a 2 or 3 game run where they don't do anything, but then you get a goal like that from Doku, and it's well worth its money in terms of a transfer for a player of that quality, because they give you that. And Man City needed that goal because Fulham were always a threat on the counter attack, but now it looks like it's game over.
There's a goal. There's a goal at the Etihad Stadium. It's a lifeline for Fulham. It's Man City 3, Fulham 2 after 88 minutes. Ball is worked out to the right-hand side. The ball comes back across goal. And Muniz honours the second-half substitute. How about that for a finish? His first touch is excellent. And then he kind of swivels and fires that ball into the roof of the net. Muniz off, scores. 88 minutes gone. City 3,
Why
Fulham
are Man
2.
City conceding so many goals?
Are they missing Rodri in that protection in front of the back four, maybe?
I think, yes, I've got my eye on this one now. I mean, it's a big opportunity here if Fulham can do something. I think you're absolutely right. You touched on why are they conceding so many goals, Manchester City, and I think it is the lack of protection. But then if we're gonna ask Kovacic to do this Rodri role, is he capable of doing that Rodri role at both ends? We need him to be box to box, essentially. We need him to be able to score, and we need him to be able to sit in front of that back line and protect them. And
Fulham
I'm not sure they
actually
can
on
do
the
that.
attack here.
Worrying.
Traore's got the ball down the right-hand side, across the face of goal, but Fulham can't
do you
convert.
think that Pep Guardiola will reinvent this midfield over the international?
I tell you
Yes.
what, they have been so open today. They were open against Newcastle. They have been so easy to get through, especially on the counter.
Basically, nobody else can play the Rodri role, so you have to come up with a system that doesn't involve a Rodri role.
And does that mean he's going to spend? I reckon he might have to bring someone in January.
We'll have to. There's links to Supermendy, but I think they will bring someone in. I think they had to, and I think they definitely will do that. But I wouldn't rule it out as if he makes someone into that role. I don't know who it will be.
Brentford 5, Wolves 2. Fabio Carvalho has scored.
Completely different
Offside
system.
flag.
He
Sorry.
will have to do something, because the last 2 games are showing that they are really frail in certain aspects. And if they keep going like this, I don't think they will win the league, to be honest with you.
No.
But when he made John Stones into that midfielder that season, when he was just unbelievable, John Stones, I believe Pep will do something different. I don't know who it'll be.
But you know, if you just list Man City midfielders, you just think about all of the midfielders that Man City have, they are capable of winning the league. Like, if you go Bernardo Silva, Rico Lewis, Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, there are enough midfielders there to create a winning team. Kovacic. It's just working out. What you can't do is ask any of them to play the Rodri role.
Information is finished at the Etihad. Man City 3, Fulham 2. Rory, going to thank you very, very much and say thank you for your company over the past hour. You're going to be live on talkSPORT at 7:30 this evening, and also live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel with the Rory Jennings Show. Just to wrap everything up, Dan Bardell is going to come and join us in the studio. So confirmation, we have 2 full times. It's finished Man City 3, Fulham 2, West Ham 4, Ipswich 1 is a full-time result at the London Stadium. West Ham having their second win of the season, their first win at home. Pep Guardiola is deep in conversation with Adama Traore. I love it when Pep almost tries to kind of coach players, doesn't he, after the game. This time he's doing it with Adama Traore.